Hi, everybody. Sherri Leopold here with another episode of Woman of Worth 2022. I'm so excited to share with you this incredible woman, Dr. Natalie Forest. Welcome, Natalie.
Thanks, Sherri. How you doing?
I am awesome. Congratulations on this award. You are an incredible woman of worth. You have so much impact and you've done so many amazing things. But I first want to ask you, what is it that you think of when you hear the words woman of worth?
It's a trick question. So I know the way I should answer, but that's not where I'm going to go. When I hear those words, I think of every woman because I would love for every woman to understand her worth. So to me, it simply means that every individual woman is worthy of so much that I can't even put into words. Therefore, I just see myself and all of the other amazing ladies who have been chosen in these award categories that we're just pathfinders for them. We're just opening the path so that after us, hopefully, hundreds of thousands of women are going to live their worth. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. And it actually just exemplifies why you are a woman of worth is because you know you're not there by yourself and you're inclusive of all women and really want to be that inspiration, which you are. So Natalie, I would love for you if you would share with our viewers a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how you serve.
That's always a trick question because anybody who knows me knows that I don't like to talk about myself, which is kind of awkward if you're on a show. The real answer is that you're going to love this. I am who I am. What you see is what you get. And of course, I did put on a little bit of makeup today. However, I am really a person who believes that teaching is my mission. And that is a common thread throughout my life, starting when I was born, all the way to actually becoming a teacher, studied history, got my PhD, became a teacher until one day I was told by a dear friend that teaching doesn't just have to occur in the classroom. I was teaching at a community college. And so I started to take it out. So to me, I am a teacher. And even my energy number reveals that. I'm a teacher who teaches by example, who teaches in workshops, who teaches in classes, who teaches wherever I can, even with a smile. And that is really important to me because I am passionate about teaching or helping, guiding everybody to really live their own lives. And in order to do that, I have to live by example. And it's not been a smooth road, to say the least. So everything I talk about, I've pretty much experienced, or I've done all the research on. And I think that's really important when we talk about somebody being a teacher, somebody being a mentor. More than anything, I'm a woman, I'm a mom, and I'm a daughter, and also a sister. And I'm a very, very spiritual being who always trusts her instincts and her gut. I hope that helps to understand me a little bit.
I love that. And I just love that your answer is so unique, Natalie. It's just so you. I mean, I know you pretty well, but I know the people watching may not. But I love that you said you just show up as you because like that is you. And it's so, so true. You just get you exactly as you are always. And it's one of the gems about knowing you.
Thank you.
So I appreciate that about you. I would love for you to share a little bit because we're saluting Women's History Month, of course. I would love for you to share, Natalie, maybe some of the powerful women in your life that have impacted you on your journey. Obviously, you are one, but there's definitely has to be someone that you might like to acknowledge or some maybe more than one that has impacted you along your journey.
I can give that a shot. So the first answer has to be coming from my spiritual side. So better get ready. It's Isis. I honestly do have a very close relation with Isis. And she's a goddess, and she worked on putting people back together and on love. That's what I'm all about. loving yourself, and helping put people back together for their purpose. So Isis is definitely right in there. I also think that this is going to sound funny. I learned a lot from my grandmother, with whom, when she was alive, I didn't have a good relationship with. My mom, obviously, she taught me pretty much everything I know. In the last few years, the most important female in my life who is teaching me more than I could ever assumed is my daughter. And I hope that she'll never stop teaching me. But that is really the most important one. Throughout my life, there have been others, obviously, who have impacted me, whether those were teachers, whether those were mentors. And I do want to point out that, and this is why I mentioned my grandmother, that not every woman who impacted me or helped me come out of whatever shape I was in at that point necessarily was a loving and positive experience. So I'm going to also put those in there though, because it is important that we appreciate what they have done for us to help us stand in our own worth and in our own power. Those are the most important women I want to say in my life up to this point, and I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Absolutely, because we're going to continue to be influenced and impacted and inspired. And I totally agree. Not everyone that impacts us is actually this giant positive force. Sometimes we learn what we don't want to be like by seeing
Mhm.
something else. And it's also a valuable lesson. But I like that because you had rule breaker in your name. And I'm like, you're the first person to actually say somebody that wasn't necessarily what people would expect as
Yeah.
a positive thing is that but you learned lessons from that as well. And I think that that actually comes probably from gratitude center
Hmm.
and being able to take those lessons even when it comes in a less traditional way. So
Yep.
love that you're a rule breaker. I just think that's amazing. Thank you for that. Paves
I
the way
didn't plan
for
on
everybody
that though,
to
I
rules.
didn't plan on
That's what
any of
it
that.
is.
It's not a marketing ploy.
Right? No, I just love it. I think it's great though. Gives everybody else permission. It's perfect. It's perfect. So I want to ask you because you mentioned quite a number of people there that have or women that have influenced you along the way, and including your beautiful, fabulous, incredibly strong daughter, who I know. And is going to be a force to be reckoned with even more in the future, I'm sure, than she is now. I would love for you to share 100 years from now when you're not in this earthly body anymore, what is the legacy that you are going to be leaving here, Natalie? You've been writing it, you are writing it on the daily. What is it going to be when somebody hears Dr. Natalie Forest? What are they going to think of?
Oh, I wish I knew. I can only hope for the best. um, what I would love to be associated with is a guide who lovingly accepted everybody as they were and helped them to reconnect with themselves. And I know that's a mouthful. Whenever I talk with people, and what I'm passionate about is for everybody to understand that everything starts here. And if I can help just one person to love themselves the way that I love them, in a spiritual and a holistic way, the way that I see them, that they can love and appreciate and then share their brilliance. If there are just one or two people who get that, then that would be fantastic. And in the end, what is most important after all of this is said and done is that I'm remembered as a kind, loving human being who cared about anything living.
If I didn't already love you, which I do, I would love you even more. Oh, how beautifully said. And I think that legacy is one that you are definitely creating, and it's being set forth also in your beautiful daughter, who is living in that same space and that
Mhm.
same thinking. And that has been mentioned many times throughout this series about the ripple of blessings. When you do that, and then even in your books that you have authored, those blessings that you have put in permanence in ink are going to continue to inspire generations to come, as is your own daughter. So I just commend you. I want to say, congratulations for being a woman of worth 2022. I'm so proud to know you. And I want people to be able to connect with you, Natalie, because you wear a lot of hats and you do a lot of really fun and interesting things. And I know they're all things that you love, but I want to be able to have people connect with you and learn more about you, and maybe have a chat with Dr. Natalie. How would they do that?
Well, the best way is, of course, to go to my website, or if you're not into websites, I mean, social media. And the fun thing about social media and me being me is that you just type in my name. It's really on all social media, and I try to respond. I do have Facebook groups. I'm everywhere. I do trainings. So I would suggest reach out to me on social media, or just website, send me an email. I try to usually respond personally, especially first contact.
I love that. And you know what? I'm gonna reiterate what you said, is that every time you reach out and talk with Natalie, you get the real Natalie, which is just one of your gifts and something that I really appreciate about you, Natalie. So, congratulations on being a woman of worth 2022. I hope you'll take her up on getting to know her a little bit better. She is an extraordinary woman. Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.